Okay, Jessica, let's get into it. So learning English with our kids or with our nieces and nephews, what do we do? How do we do it? Where do we start?
Well, I want to backtrack a bit because I want to share with you guys the reason why we wanted to talk about this today.
Yeah.
A student in our Connected Communicator course. So we encourage our community, right, in the course to introduce themselves. And this community, our Facebook group, has become so vibrant. Everybody is talking to each other and sharing in English. So she introduced herself and said, hi, nice to meet you. I joined this group a few days ago. I have 2 babies and I hope they will be able to speak in English in the future. So I want to talk with them in English. And I love this. And I hear this from more and more adults around the world, not just parents, but right? Like uncles, aunts, adults, that they really want to practice English with kids and encourage their kids to learn English. So we have some great ideas for you guys today.
Yeah. And it's, there's a lot of science, and I can't go into the science. I haven't studied the brain science around childhood brain development, but we know that when students learn at a younger age, they're able to kind of take a different attitude towards the language,
For
right?
sure.
It won't, if you guys are doing this with your kids, it won't be a classroom kind of mentality. It'll be a living mentality. This is life. Like, we live in English, we live in our native language, whatever it is. It's a totally different orientation towards the language. And you want to give your kids that confidence.
Yes, exactly. And that is how everybody learns more effectively, right? This idea of immersion to any extent. Immersion doesn't have to be 24/7 in a language. You're just trying to immerse yourself when you can. Fit this in when you can. And I think, guys, like, you'll be inspired by how your kids dive into English because, like Lindsay said, they approach it just without this fear, without all this, like, backed up sort of, self-conscious. And I think that's inspiring.
Yeah. I remember teaching kids in Tokyo. I had kids of all ages, like down to age 3, 4, 5, up to teenagers, but especially the 3-year-olds. And it was just running around the classroom and doing heads and shoulders and all kinds of stuff. But it's a very freeing feeling to learn with kids because they don't have all that anxiety that comes to the language, right?
Exactly. So guys, we have some super fun stuff to share with you today. I'm going to go first because I have James and I have a favorite author right now. And you know what, guys? You know him. You know him and his stories, I promise. So Roald Dahl, he's so smart. Just his books and his stories. Yes, they're kid stories, but there are dark elements to them as well, right? Like they're really deep stories. It's not just like Sally went to the pond and met a frog. Like these are about, deep, there's like poverty, and I'm making it sound sad, but it's not. They're delightful. And I mean, who hasn't heard of Willy Wonka, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? I think that's his most famous one.
Yeah, that's a classic. Yeah, I love how some of these really, really great authors are able to kind of leave something for everyone, right? There's something in it for the adults as well as the kids. It's like multi-layered. Multidimensional.
James and I are reading the sequel to Willy Wonka right now, Charlie and the Glass Elevator. While we're reading at night, because I'll read to him at night. He reads to himself in the daytime. But anyway, while I'm reading to him at night, I swear, like, at least once a page, I have to put the book down because I'm laughing so hard. And both of us are just like cracking up. And these things become inside jokes, like the funny Roald Dahl lines. So I can't encourage you guys enough to experience this language and these stories.